But for my presentation today, I want to simplify it a bit. I want to talk about something not only we as baristas use every day, but something that our guests use as well. I want to talk about taste experience. And what is a good taste experience? For me, it's balance between acidity, sweetness, and bitterness. Now, I will of course describe all three things in each course I serve you, but I would like to focus a bit extra on the acidity in my espresso course, sweetness in my milk beverages, bitterness, and a balance between all three of them in my signature beverage. But for now, you can sit back and relax, have some water. I'm gonna start brewing some shots for my signature beverage. Now, I did not choose my coffee for its innovative new fermentation technique, nor for its experimental variety. I chose my coffee because for the first time I blind cupped it. I just absolutely loved it. The coffee I've chosen for you is from Ethiopia, from the Guji region. Now, the Guji region is known for producing very high quality coffee. It's grown on the hillsides around a valley called Buku. And once it's been picked and sorted, it's then brought to Mitad's washing station, Hambella. The variety is a native alum, and it comes from about 300 small farm holders. It's grown really high at an altitude about 2,300 meters above sea level. Now, this is going to add a lot of complexity into my coffee. It's a fully wash process coffee, something that I've always enjoyed for its clean and its clear flavors. And once it's been depulped, it's then fermented in concrete tanks, and finally it's dried out in the sun on raised beds. I think that acidity is one of the most important things in an espresso. I didn't even like espresso until I had my first acidic one. Up until that point, I would always add milk to it. Acidity, for me in espresso, is what makes it come to life. Acidity is mouth-watering, helps us to taste better, and when you combine that acidity with sweetness, that's when we get those lovely fruit flavors. So in my espresso, it's gonna have a high sweetness. It's gonna have a high complex citric acidity. It's gonna have a low bitterness. You're gonna have flavors of bergamot, grapefruit, dark chocolate, and jasmine. It's gonna have a creamy body, a smooth mouthfeel, and a long lingering finish. And when I serve you my espresso, please bring it up to your nose, stir it 5 times, smell the coffee, and then have a sip of it. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Here we go. Here you go. Now, I think that sweetness in a milk-based drink is one of the most important things. In my mind, when we're mixing milk and espresso, we're kind of creating a small dessert, almost like a small treat, like a piece of chocolate. So in my milk beverages, I'm using 1 part coffee to 3 part milk. To balance out my espresso, I'm using an organic milk with a fat percent of 3.5. And to increase the sweetness, I've frozen the milk and slowly let it defrost, removing half of the water. Now this is going to give my milk beverages an intense sweetness. Now I'm not going to steam too much air into it, making it a bit smoother. So in my milk beverages, you can expect high syrup-like sweetness, dark chocolate bitterness. Gonna have flavors of baked grapefruit, caramelized almonds, and dark chocolate. It's gonna have a smooth body. Please enjoy, sir. One for you, sir. Please enjoy. Now, for my signature drink, I wanted to talk about balance between acidity, sweetness, and bitterness. So in the beginning of my presentation, I started brewing 6 shots of my espresso, and it's been cooling in an ice bath. My espresso is already really sweet. To increase that sweetness and to give it more body, I'm going to use 15 grams of condensed milk, which has been sitting in a container with hot water, giving it an end temperature around 32 degrees. Now this is for it to be able to be integrated into the drink. My espresso is already really acidic, has a good amount of citric acidity, so I'm not going to add any more acidic compound to it. But for bitterness, now bitterness is something that we've always strived to minimize, which makes sense because a lot of the time it's going to be very unpleasant. But there are many different kinds of bitterness. I've always enjoyed the grapefruit bitterness. To make the sweetness stand out from an otherwise very acidic, very bitter fruit, you can bake it first. Just like we do when we roast coffee, you can caramelize the sugars, which I've done with the grapefruit. I've sliced it up, baked it in the oven at 200 degrees for an hour. Afterwards, I've taken all the baked pulp, boiled it down with 500 grams of water for an hour and a half. And for this, I'm going to use 6 grams of. Now, buku has always been known for its floral part of the drink. But this is something that I've always enjoyed. So in the beginning of my presentation, I started brewing 2 different kinds of tea. First one is a rooibos tea with raspberry. Second one is a jasmine tea. Now I'm going to put your cups on top and let the steam go up into it. These 2 smells combined is going to give my signature beverage the flavor peach. To mix it all together and to give it a little bit more body, I'm going to blend it for 3 seconds. So in my signature beverage, you can expect balance between acidity, sweetness, and bitterness. It's going to have a high sweetness, a medium acidity, and a low bitterness. Going to have flavors of peach, yellow honey melon, jasmine, and dark chocolate. Now when I serve you my signature beverage, please give it a swirl and then have a sip of it. Please enjoy, sir. Please enjoy, sir. Here we go. This truly has been an amazing experience. Time.
A warm round of applause for Kian. Kian, if you could just join me center stage over here, please. Just for a couple minutes. How are you feeling? I felt really zen watching your routine.
I'm really happy with it. I am. It's the coffee tasted amazing, and I had a practice shot just before. It tasted awesome. So
amazing. And what was your, I know you've done this probably tons and tons of times, what was your favorite part of your routine?
Favorite part is, it's gotta be the espresso. I mean, the espresso is kind of like the core of it, and the espresso just tasted awesome. It's
amazing.